The best static team in Honkai Star Rail can finally be assembled. Sure, we can just go full quantum, but we can optimize it even better. Thanks to Lady Fu's overpowered sustain, even without her signature Lycone, we don't need to have Lynx on the team. I was able to easily clear MOC 10 without a healer, and I'll show the full footage at the end. This Braindead team can beat any content in the game, and I'll talk about a different variant later for accounts who don't have a quantum DPS. I will start with the one that requires less thinking. You will need Xuan, Silverwolf, and either Seele or an invested QQ. The last unit is a flex support. It can be a healer, a buffer like Tingyun or Asta, or a debuffer like Pela. There are some options for each element the boss is weak against, so there's actually a lot of choices for this quote-unquote best team in the game. If you are fighting a boss that already has the quantum weakness, then the support can be anyone you like. But if the boss does not have a quantum weakness, then you'll need to pick a support with an element that the boss is already weak against, but as you can see from this list, there's a lot to pick from. And if you are not running a healer, then you'll want an energy rope on Lady Fu. Combine that, plus her technique, plus her ascension trait that gives 20 extra energy when her matrix is up. This combo will give her about 70 energy on her first turn of combat when she uses her skill, which pretty much lets you use an ultimate on turn 1 in MOC, giving her another stack of healing right away. Xuan quickly became my favorite tank because she isn't just a tank. She also provides a little healing to the team like an abundance character, and boosts her crit rate like a harmony unit. If you have her signature Lycone, which I don't, but if you do, you get even more healing thanks to the energy regen and the wave bonus. DPS Xuan is not worth it. It's weird that she gets crit rate on her traits, but her damage is still very low even if you gear her as a full damage dealer, so stick with the tanky support style. For Silverwolf, there are two options. One is free-to-play friendly, and the other does better with some Eidolons. The full breaker build is the free-to-play one, and it's the one I prefer more, and the other build is a half DPS, half debuffer, which I'm not going to talk about. So for the breaker build, we will still need 96% hit rate. We will also want a break effect rope and 4-piece shooting meteor. The Talia set is nice to have, but not required since that simulated world is not efficient to farm, and most folks, including myself, won't have those relics. Next, just focus on break effect, speed, effect hit rate until you meet that 96% requirement, and tanky stats for the rest of the stuff. Don't bother with crit or attack in this build. You get that damage back and then some when the boss's entanglement pops. Just look at this nice pop with my Breaker Silverwolf. The tricky part is making sure she lands the final hit on the toughness bar, but it's not that bad after some practice. Her ult does a lot of toughness damage, so you can use that as a guarantee to break the enemy. Seele and QQ uses the generic DPS build, which is the crit, attack, and speed trifecta, so nothing special there. Okay, so all that was for the Braindead team that works against any boss or fight in the game. Now I'll talk about the variant for the folks without Seele or build QQ. It's best against bosses that already have a quantum weakness, but you can still fish for the 50-50 if desperate. For this team, you'll want Xuan, Silverwolf, maybe Lynx, and your strongest DPS that you enjoy playing or have already built. This is the main change really. You are subbing out Seele for your best damage dealer and using Silverwolf to add the proper weakness. Lynx is used here to ensure Silverwolf always adds the correct weakness, but you can use any support with the same element as your DPS. To summarize this variant, your team will have two elements, Quantum plus the one with your DPS. You can either go with 3 Quantum supports and your DPS, or 2 Quantum, which are Xuan and Silverwolf, and 2 of the elements with your DPS, which will be your DPS of course, and a support that matches the element. Then you build them like normal. And that's a wrap for the strongest team. The first version is obviously more brain-dead and requires less thinking, but I added the second variant for those who didn't get Seele and don't like QQ. Hope this will help you clear more memory of chaos. Now you can adjust your strongest non-quantum team against one side of the MOC, whichever one you're better against with your team or account. And you can let the Braindead team take care of the side that you're not good against. Anyway, going to let the rest of this MOC finish. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun out there, Trailblazer.
Enemy targets detected. This is double speed. Enemy data secure. Network activated. Time for a good old counterattack. All things must human creations. All free from your chain. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Ready for another? Yin and yang. Converge and awaken. Don't mess with me. I'll end your misery. I see together as one. Enemy data secure. Network is activated. Time for a good old counterattack. All things human creations. So you are afraid of me. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Commencing support. Ready for another? A quick divination. Converge and awaken.